Hello. I know no one is going to give a shit about anything I'm about to say until they have a look at this shirt. So here you go. Nigel Thornberry saying smashing. Smashing. Do we care about me again yet, or are we still looking? It also feels like I'm pointing out my tits, which I promise I'm not. Okay? So this is a terrible place to start this vlog, but I'm a terrible person, and it, you know, this quality represents me and my vlogs. So this is gonna be another vlog in my series where I read popular books and see if I think they're worth the hype. What is going on? Worth the hype? Disclaimer, that's just my shit humble opinion. So if you like this and I don't, doesn't matter. If I like it and you don't, doesn't matter. So for this vlog, I'm gonna be reading Rhapsodic. Can you see there? I've just opened it. It's on the opening credits. So this is, I don't even know what this is. Oh my god, my head is literally just like cut off. I'm literally the worst booktuber ever. Oh, my hair looks really greasy. I probably should have washed it this morning when I showered, but I didn't. Anyway, so I'm participating in a little mini sort of read along for this with some of my friends on BookTube, and so that's why I'm reading this. It's hosted by Ellie, who's one of my favorite people on BookTube, so all go subscribe. Although anyone that's watching me is probably already subscribed and watching her because she's way cooler than me. But just in case you're not, get your shit together now.
I have a mind to report you to the International Federation for Ethical Naturalism.
So I don't know what this is about. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna join your read along, Ellie, because you know I love you, so I'm gonna join. You could have been like, let's read the most shit book ever written, and I'd read it because I love you. Okay, so it's about a siren, and she's been collecting a bracelet of black beads up her wrist with magical favors she's received. Only death or repayment will fulfill the obligations. Only then will her beads disappear. And everyone knows if you need a favor, you go to the bargainer. And he has never asked for anything in repayment, but he is now asking her. And he's a fey king. And they have a romance. So yeah, I'm excited. I've heard good things about Laura Thalassa. I think her Pestilence series seems to be more widely received than The Bargainer, but I know that The Bargainer is still very popular. So yeah, I'm about to cook lunch. Don't know what I'm gonna cook. Let me decide. I do have this. So another fave of mine on BookTube, I guess this is just a video of me shouting out other people because I'm recommending you watch them instead of me, made some scallop potatoes or a potato bake in one of her videos, and it looked delicious. And I have made these in the past and it made me really want to make some. So I've got this and some chicken wrapped up with like bacon, and it's already like seasoned because I can't cook for shit. So I kind of already buy it ready to go. That'll take a while to cook because they always take a while. Because, you know, it's chicken and I want to make sure I'm not going to get full food poisoning. Also, that joke was shit and it took me like 10 takes because I kept saying full poisoning. What is happening? So I think actually, after all that, I'm still going to keep it in because I want to shout out Sasha. I think I'm going to make curried sausages because it's going to be quicker. And Liam loves curried sausages. So do I, but you know. Liam loves them. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make the curried sausages and I'm gonna listen to Rhapsodic while I do that. Also, just ignore that this kitchen has a bit of mess. Okay? We're busy working people and we don't even have children. We're just busy and a little bit lazy.
But I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before the noon. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed. When we play our roles and ignore the problems.
Ooh. Okay, so apologies because I look like complete shit. And I know that I always look like complete shit, but I've been working So I actually have an excuse this time. So I'm over halfway through The Bargainer now. I think I'm like maybe 3/4. I haven't actually got a lot left, but I want to at least do 2 updates of this. So I'm going to do an update now, and then I'm going to lay on my bed and try not to fall asleep, and I'm going to listen to it and try and finish it. So Rhapsodic is pretty much what I said before from memory. I think so. I can't actually remember what I said. It is a story about this girl who's kind of a siren, and this like faking that people bargain with to get like things from, and he puts bracelets for each one, and she has to give him a favor in return to get them to go. And so she is basically hugely in debt to him. She has like a whole arm of these beads because she keeps asking him for bargains. Oh my god, there's a bug on my face. And she does it because she needs help, but she also does it because she's horny as shit for him. But she's like too young at the start, so like they kind of meet up a few times over the years. And this book is like multi-timeline, so we go back into the past, then back to the future, then back in the past, then back in the future. And if I was physically reading it, I'm pretty certain it would be fine, but because I'm just listening to the audiobook while I drive and cook and do, you know, housework, I'm not fully 100% paying attention, so at times it is a little bit confusing because of that. But again, that's not a flaw of the book, that's a flaw of me not being able to just sit and listen to an audiobook. I have to do stuff at the same time. Yeah, that's really confusing me, but that's kind of not really, I would say, a big issue if you're just physically reading it or reading along to the audiobook. If you can visually see it, I think you'd be okay. So yeah, it's just they're chronicling their relationship. There are some like fantastical elements as well. She keeps kind of getting in trouble. This is more just chronicling their relationship, and obviously every time he comes into her life, it's because she's bargaining with him, well, most of the time. So, you know, it's kind of always leading up to that situation. So yeah, I have mixed feelings so far. I would say they're more positive because I'm having a good time, and honestly it's just an indie fantasy romance, so I'm not holding it to the highest standard. I just have a few like writing things that are irking me. The first being that he says cherub nearly every time he talks to her. And if I'm gonna be honest,
I'm out of here.
it is so annoying. Just stop saying it. For the love of fucking God, please stop saying it. But yeah, I just don't know why authors think it's a good idea to just repeat something. Like, even if people do it in real life, when you're reading a book, it's really fucking annoying, and it just like irks me. Second, the book feels a little bit aimless. I don't really know where the story's going. I feel like it's chronicling this relationship, but there's also this like fantastical element to it. And I can enjoy a fantasy romance that is purely romance, but I feel like we keep getting like world building and sort of hinting at these things that are going on, but then like we don't really progress that. So because I know there's all these other things going on, but we're not progressing it, it feels aimless. Whereas if it was just focusing wholly on their romance, I probably wouldn't feel that way. So I just kind of have this overarching feeling of this is aimless and meandering. The third and probably the final like major problem I have is that it's one of those books where the characters don't really have anything outside the romance. Like, I feel like we don't really know the characters. I feel like I can't picture them super clearly. Like, they're there, but they're not within my grasp. I feel like I can't fully be immersed in their story because I don't feel like I really know them. I don't feel like they've been written in a way where we can feel that we know them or are getting to know them. So they're just kind of caricatures, if even that. They're kind of just there. And they've got some good like sexual tension. You know, there's been some good like foreplay scenes, but I just feel like outside that, I don't know who the fuck they are.
Who the f*** is that guy? Who the f*** is that?
I want to know her well enough to be like, if you're like, what flavor of ice cream do you think she'd pick? I'd be able to say, you know what I mean? But at this stage, I don't know. I really have no idea. Probably cherry, cherub. In terms of things that I do like, I think it's pretty unique. I like the back and forth timeline, even though it's confusing for the audio. I actually really like it. I think it's cool, and I like a romance that like spans over that many years, and like even though it's a little bit creepy that like she knew him when she was a bit younger, it could be a little bit groomy. I don't know. It's especially really hard for me because I'm not really fully keeping track of how old she is and when this is happening because it's so confusing. But yeah, and like it's satisfying seeing someone who's loved someone for so long, or, you know, been attracted to them and wanted them, finally like being noticed and having like their romance I think is really nice, and like there is this big build up of their romance. So I think like the actual romance is written really well, but it's like that's all it's got going for it at the moment, so it's a little bit messy in its method, but I'm enjoying it. Like I think it's an interesting way to build a romance. To film this clip and look at this lighting. What am I doing? That's better, but now Liam's here with food, so I'll be back. Sorry, I was very rudely interrupted before. Liam brought me food. It was very rude of him, and now it's the next day. So let's wrap this up, shall we? Okay, so I've got a lot of mixed feelings, but I want to start this off by saying that the Faking's name was Desmond, which I think is fine. Desmond's, you know, suits that thing. He's not a thing. Why can I not talk? Desmond suits the faking. And I mean, people's names don't always suit them, but I feel like when you're writing a book, you kind of want the name to suit the vibe. So like Desmond works, but he goes by Des. And I don't know why, but whenever she would say like Des, all that I could picture was a middle-aged man walking into a party, 2 kegs of beer, and everyone's like, Des here! Like, that is all I could picture. That is all I could picture. So anyway, I'm a terrible human being because I'm stereotyping, but that is what I think of when I hear Des. I'm not really gonna have that impact my overall thoughts. I just thought it was very funny. This loses the whole star rating because the main guy's name is Des. What else did I have to talk about? That's all I can think about now. At the end of the day, the time jumping was a little bit annoying. I liked it at first, and I do still like it. I think it made the book original, but I think there were just too many. And I think that really impacted the aimless feeling of the book because we were very rarely progressing the plot because we were constantly going back to things in the past and fleshing them out to, I think, an unnecessary extent when we should have been focusing on the present. And I think that when you do the jumping back and forth, I think it's really hard to pull off. And I think in this case, I think it possibly would have been benefited from a ratio of more of the present, less of the past. And at times I think maybe it would have been better if the past had all been at the start and then we got into the present. And I think that possibly would have been more effective. But I don't necessarily want to say cut that out because I think that made it unique. The back and forth, I think that made it for a bit of a different reading experience. So I'm hesitant to say that shouldn't have been added. So I don't really know what the solution here is. But I enjoyed their romance. I think the steam was really nice. There were a few scenes where I was like... Sorry, I always make it weird and I can't help it. They had a lot of chemistry. Their romance was solid. It was great seeing the progression over the years. Yeah, I just think that there are other technical issues that make me struggle to love it. So I'm thinking a 3 or 3.5. I think that's going to conclude this vlog. I don't know if there's enough here for an actual vlog, but I'm still going to post it because I'm really struggling to get content out at the moment. I've just been very busy. So I will be continuing on with the series, mainly because of the buddy read that I'm doing, because I love the people in there and it's been lots of fun chatting about it. So I will be continuing. So let me know in the comments if you've read this book. Have you read the series? Have you read any books by this author? Let me know. Are you planning to read it? Are you not? What do you think of the name Des for a faking? And do we now want my opening and closing clips to be me going, hey cherubs, and then bye cherubs? Or do we want that to die? Because I'm very much on the team, let's let that die. I'm gonna get a phone call. I'm gonna go now. I hate phone calls. I'm gonna go be anxious now over this because I'll probably have to call them back and I hate phone calls. Just email me, please. Please just email me. I'm a millennial. I don't like phone calls. Okay, bye. Sorry. I forgot that I was changing to bye cherubs. So, bye cherubs.